Hey guys, this is Belinda with Willow, Birch, and Clover, and we're back to begin our first embellishing video. We're going to see how many pages we can work through quickly. I've got a stopping point. I think it's going to take probably 2 videos, and like I said, this will be the first, so we have no time to waste. We're going to start on the inside cover of our book, and on my original version, I didn't have anything in here, and I wanted to provide something for you to put here. So if you got my Precious Things paper kit off of Etsy, I went back and added 2 additional sheets in the folder that it's in. So if you've already downloaded it, go back and follow the link and look, and you'll find 2 additional sheets. They're pocket page sheets. And this is the first one. It has a pocket like this. It has some tags like this. And it has a little girl on the back of a card that can be folded. You can put her on the inside or outside. I did it like that. So we're going to start off by putting this down on the inside cover. You're just going to cut out, score on your lines, and then we're going to glue. Okay? Let me get my Fabri-Tac going here. Put a little glue. A little dab will do you, really. And we're going to kind of stick to about right there, I think, is a good spot. Kind of burnish that down. Let me get my bone folder. Just burnish a little, okay? And then that's really quick, really simple, and gives you something pretty to tuck on the inside of your pocket, okay? All right, now next we're moving on to this page, okay? And you flip it over there. And we're gonna work on a pocket assembly. Now I want you to find the sheet of scrapbook paper that you printed on both sides, and it's the brown, I call it the brown with the floral plant there, okay? It's gonna be 3 inches by 8.5 inches, 3 inches wide, 8.5 inches long. I have this side out. My pocket is gonna go right here. And since I want irregular edges, I'm gonna tear on this side. So let's do that very quickly. Let's see. Sometimes I can do it better going this way. I'll turn it around. Yeah. And you can tear as little as you might or as much off as you want. I just like the irregular edge. Okay. And that's fine. Let me get my ink. Okay. And now I want it to go down like this. I'm going to stay off of the edge of my green paper there, right inside the crease of my grid paper. So I'm going to put glue here, here, and here to make a pocket. Let me do that. Doesn't have to be perfect. You'll want to take more time than I'm taking and be very careful with your placement here. This pocket should be the same height as your paper. It is on mine because I trimmed all the white edges off. Okay, there's that. Now, you need a strip of fabric, and this is my medium color. I'm going to measure this for you quickly. And it's a little, I can tell you now, it's going to be a little bit longer than this pocket. And I think it's 1.5 inches. Let me look. Yeah, about 1.5 inches wide. All right. I'm going to just do a little squiggle of glue right down the center of my pocket there. And I'm going to lay my fabric up there so that a little bit hangs over each end. And then I just want you to squeeze in a little right on top of the glue and press down. And do you see what that does? It kind of ruches the fabric and puts a little wrinkle in it, just like that. All right, now you're going to need this ephemera piece. This is what I use out of my kit, and we're going to need the little girl. We're going to glue her down on top of there. So let me put a little glue around the edge of her. And we're going to put it just like this, okay? Now, I want a little lace to go back behind her, so I cut a piece. This piece of lace, you know, whatever you put on your pocket, it should be just a little bit bigger than what's going to go on the bottom there. You can see it, all right? So what I want to do is I want to move it over here a little bit. I want it off of this seam. So I'm just going to put a little more glue down right here where I want the lace. Put the lace down and kind of bunch it just a little. Try to keep it off of that fold right here, like I said. And it doesn't matter if it overhangs the pocket opening over here. Just make sure you don't glue your pocket down. That looks pretty good. Then I'm going to take my glue and put all over the back of this picture frame and little girl that I just put together. And that's going to go right down on my pocket just like that. Okay. Now next, I want to cut your rose out of your ephemera and get just any little scrap piece of lace. You're going to put it behind your rose. We're going to bunch it up a little bit till we like it, so that a little bit's peeking out there. And I'm going to take my stapler and I'm just going to put a staple in it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. It'll be easier if I do this. Let's put the glue down and put the lace down first. Right here on this corner, okay? Put the lace, wiggle it up, see? We're giving it a texture by putting these wrinkles and folds, okay? I have to hold it for a minute for the lace to catch. All right, now, take your flower. I put a staple in it. Put glue on the back and put it down on top of the lace. Okay, and there's your pocket. And in my book, I have this flower and these scissors, and I just slide them in my pocket. Okay, there's that one. Flip it over, and on this part of your graph paper, I pulled out it looks like a little girl standing on a porch, and there's vintage white cake recipe card. I'm going to put this on the edge and clip it down with one of my rusty paper clips, okay? And that's done. Now let's see, we're going to do another one of these pockets very quickly. All right, I'm going to cut, you're going to get this piece of paper and cut a 3-inch wide strip out of it. Remember, we had this one left over. We didn't use it in our paper stack here in our book block. So the little girl, about like that, all right? Now, she's going to sit here, just off the edge. So this time, we're going to tear on this side. Sorry, my fingers aren't working. Here we go. Well, nobody can say I'm Speedy Gonzales for sure. For those of you who don't know who that is, that's an old Warner Brothers cartoon character. Okay, I'm going to ink that edge. Okay, and again, glue on the 3 sides. I'll just use that little glob that was on top of my bottle there. Along this side, across the bottom. Good. Make sure we don't have any overhanging. I'm going to come just off the edge of the page. I'd say that's about a 1/4 inch away from this edge, and I centered it because this will be on one of your coffee stain papers. It's going to be longer than this pocket. All right, and now for this one, we're going to take a fabric strip. It's about 1.5 inches wide, and again, it's just a touch longer than the girl there, you can see. And I'm going to go, this one won't be ruched quite as much, but I'm going to, because you don't want it quite as long as the last one, we're just going to kind of do a little, I guess it is about the same as the last one. So about, this paper's 8 1/4, so I would say make this like 9¼ or 9 inches long. It doesn't matter if it extends past the pocket a little bit. And it's 1.5 wide, okay? All right, now, on that piece of paper, this is the center part. It's right past the girl on that piece of paper. You'll recognize the print. And we're going to use that to make a little belly band. But before I do, I'm going to tear. And yes, I know I should have done this off of camera and just shown it to you, but I wanted you to see the process, okay? And this is about 1.25 inches wide, and it is 8¼ inches long, okay? And we're just tearing all the way down, and then we're going to come back on the other side and tear to make both sides have the irregular edges, the unevenness. I should have turned it over, because watch what happens when I do it like that, pulling it to me. It pushes it down on this side, but it doesn't matter. We're going to ink, so you won't see the white anyway, but make it easy on yourself. Turn the paper, the side you're using, down and tear, pulling towards you. And then you can turn your paper, flip it back over, and these white edges won't be showing as much. They'll be facing the other way, facing down, and easier to ink. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now, this one is just glued down, so I'm going to put glue. It's not going to be a belly band or anything. It's going to be glued down flat. So get you a little glue going all down there. And we're just going to place it right there in the center of the fabric strip and burnish. I hope you all can see what I'm trying to achieve here. All right, now we're going to put together our next little piece of ephemera. You want the little girl that looks like this in this ornate picture frame. And I want you to take a little glue, not that much, and just smear it right along the edges of your little girl. Fabri-Tac will bubble to the top of the bottle if you don't put your cap on. And it takes so much time sometimes to get it to come back up to the top. I've just been leaving it and let it bubble up while I do this. Put her behind the picture frame and cover the white area of her around the edge of the photo so that you have something like this. Okay? Now we're going to take a piece of lace, and you can measure by just laying your little girl up there. The lace should peek out behind it just like that. This one we're not going to bunch up really, because I'm about to use up all this lace and I want to have enough to finish the decorating with you. So I'm starting to get a little skimpy with my lace, I think, but I can't help it. I gotta have enough to finish the book. So I'm going to turn it at an angle and pat it down right in the center. That will make it stick up on these edges. Put glue. And like I said, if you're not using my paper set, you can pick some papers that have decorations like these and arrange yours in this manner, and you know, you'll still have a beautiful journal. You don't have to have this paper set. This is just the paper set I chose to use because I designed it and it was in my Etsy shop and I had easy access, and I thought it looked great for Mother's Day. And then right there on that corner, we're going to put the butterfly. Okay? There's that pocket. And in this pocket, I used the little birdie card. Tuck it in there. And I just tore a piece of my gray graph paper. You can use any side you want, but I wanted the irregular edges to poke out, so I did it like that. Okay, there's that page. Now, flip the page, and on this next one right up here, you're going to get the picture of the school children, and we're just going to paper clip it right there. Ta-da, that's done. I think I left, okay, and here I made a decoration, and I'm going to show that to you now. All right, I took a piece of graph paper. This graph paper, I cut my sides. So after it's cut, it is almost 3 3/4. Almost, not quite. I would say do it maybe at the full 3 3/4 and just snip like 1/8 of an inch off of each side. And then the length is 7 1/4. All right. Anywhere you want folded up, you're making a little pocket. Okay. I'm going to take glue and do this and this and fold it up, burnish it down. Now, just for looks, we're going to put a staple right on the edge of each. Okay. I'm going to get this piece of ephemera and put a staple in the center of it, and I'm going to glue it down. This is just how I work. You know, if you want to staple it on there before you fold it up or whatever, but I have found this to be the quickest process for me. I use the blue Cook's Friend tag and this Notice tag that I have in my kit. They just go right in the pocket. And I'm going to take, I have it on this page. I'm going to take it and paper clip it right there. That's decorated. All right, we're moving on. We're almost to the end for today, so hang on and bear with me. The next thing we're going to do, we turn past the grid paper to the back side of the grid paper. And in my kit, you have this green pocket. Remember I had you print on the back side the white, kind of grungy with the script stamping? That's why. We're going to put that right there. I like the white. There's so much green in this journal already. I just wanted to add a little white here. So I'm just going to line mine up with the lines on my graph paper there so you can still see my numbers underneath the pocket. Now to decorate it, I'm just going to put a little glue on the pocket. Whatever decoration you're using, you can judge the size of your little fabric strip here, but it's 1 inch wide and it's 2.5 inches long. It's not very big. And I've got some stringy things going on, and I just left them because I like that. Okay, and now I'm going to take my little stamp here and I'm going to bunch my lace up behind it like that. I want to use this little green stamp from my kit. Bunch a little piece of lace up. It's literally like 1.5 by 1.5 inches. I'm going to have to put this down here on the table to staple it, I think. Okay, that will help keep the lace kind of bunched up under there. Let me see how I want to turn it this way. So I'm going to staple again. It won't matter. It will look, I have one staple in the other one, but the staples just look really cool, I think. Okay, let me move my little scraps here. Now, take your glue, put some on the back of this lace. Make sure you get through to your little stamp there. I'm going to turn my stamp like I want it and glue it down right there. Very simple. And see how I have a little lace sticking up all over? That needs to be held down for a second. But I put the 2 pieces of ephemera, or the Sweeping Lady and the Mother's Newsletter. Hold it down and it will catch with Fabri-Tac, I promise. So just bear with me. It takes it just a second. Okay, there we go. It's starting to catch. All right, we're going to move on. And we're going to turn over to the next piece of dot grid paper. You're going to get your strip. I punched holes in mine, inked around them. I put it right here and clip. Okay, like that. And then on this little girl, our last one for today, I'm going to take my brown strip from my kit and I'm going to make a pocket like this across 3 sides, 2 short and 1 long. Right here, on the bottom of the page, I'm going to put my pocket just like that. Inside this pocket, I got a piece of the graph grid dot. It is, I'll measure it for you so you'll have a measurement in case you don't have the dot paper. It's 9.5 long by 2 3/4 wide. You can see it's grungy. I just folded it up like that, and I stick it in here with my rough edge up. I like that with this little rough edge up. I think I want to turn mine so that where it joins shows. And I have my little round piece with the birdies, and I have the woman with the cat on the porch. All right, now that's as far as we're going to go today. We're almost halfway through, believe it or not. There's not, you know, a whole lot left. It moves pretty quickly. So if you're working along with me, do your decorating, and tomorrow I'll post another video. We'll try to finish out through the decorating. There's one piece we're going to make from scratch. I'll have that pre-cut, but I'll give you measurements. It's one of the pockets, and I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks. Bye-bye.